Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnaz.
And today, in this versus video, we're going to do another more comparison versus, because the last one did pretty good, so we'll just keep it on going. But this time, we're going to have an alien fight-off between the SH Monsterarts Warrior Alien from Alien vs. Predator against the NECA Alien vs. Predator Warrior Alien.
It's a good choice. Good fight.
Yeah, because currently sold eBay listings, he goes for about $25-30 on average, while this one's more about 50.
Yeah.
Which is to be expected. It is a Monsterarts. It's a Japanese import figure. Usually going to be a little bit more pricey. But we're going to determine here is that extra $25 you're paying worth it? Or should you guys just be sticking with the good old stateside boy?
Yeah. I do have one argument for the Monster Art that I know that he would win for just that one argument, though.
Well,
so we'll keep it for later on.
Alright, but first and foremost, we'll do this like the Godzilla one, where we'll go over detailing, paint job, size, articulation, what have you. So first and foremost, we'll start with the easy one, which what we have here is the size of the figures. Which you can clearly tell which one's winning that department.
Jeez, OP.
In terms of bang for your buck value.
NECA.
Yeah, the NECA one is easily the much larger of the two. Now, granted, and that's another problem we'll get to in a second, but using both of them supporting with their tails. The NECA one also is a lot easier at supporting with its tail because they don't come with stands, so the tail's sort of like a pseudo stand for this guy.
And it works out.
Yeah, like I haven't bought any stands for these guys personally.
Only problem is the Monster Art one has an issue with the tail.
Yeah, well, it's just like each of these are ball joints, so it's not very good at supporting. So you kind of have to use the stand mandatory, which is mandatory, which is kind of like a positive and a negative, because it's like a positive because you can get like better poses out of it than say I could with this guy. But then again, you also have to have a stand on your shelf, which is kind of
Not only does it take up more room, it doesn't look good.
Well, room's debatable because this guy, because he's bigger, already takes up a lot more room. And you can see too, like this guy's standing up, and I have this thing like crouching, and it's taller than this. So in terms of size, NECA easily defeating that guy. Next would be, I guess we'll do the articulation, which I kind of feel it's about the same.
Yeah, because see, like where Monster Arts, every piece of tail is a ball joint. You would think that's a good idea. But in the long run, it's not. The tail cannot stand up by itself.
Yeah, well, it can't even hold its pose.
Yeah, look at that.
Well, this, laying down for a second, has a bendy wire.
And it works out great.
Yeah, like, you have to worry about it over time, like, the tail possibly fraying or the wire popping out or possibly breaking. But you almost debatably get just the same amount of articulation out of it. That, and again, like, the tail can kind of be used to prop up the figure by itself. But just like with the NECA, you get double jointed elbows. You get the same kind of articulation for the shoulders. Same with the hands. Actually, you have to swap out the hands. These ones actually have a hinge, so you actually get slightly more articulation.
You know what? Yeah, I feel like NECA's actually winning in articulations.
Granted, like mine has a loose head a bit, as you can see. But it's just like this. Like the head on this one's.
Oh, never mind. Fell out by itself.
Is yeah, the mini mouth is a little bit easier on this guy. Once we got it loose, it doesn't like to stand there at all. Well, this one. This is actually fairly loose too. But the head's a little bit more articulate on this. Like, you get some articulation with the tubes here, which is like, whoop-de-doo. This one you don't. Off. Tail fell off again. Ooh, more things fall off? I heard two things.
No, just the tail.
Just the tail?
It hit both of the stands down there.
But you get the same articulation for the chest area, at the waist. So for the most part, it's, like, technically more articulated, but
I'm more of a NECA side on this one.
Yeah, not really. It's cool that it has those articulation, like the extra articulation for the tubes and technically more for the tail, but it's not very practical. And then he has like arguably the more useful articulation extra with the hands instead of having to swap them out like you'd have to with this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of give the articulation just like a slight nudge to the NECA. All right, next we'll go over paint job, which is
almost equal. Like it's
there. Pretty freaking close. Detail wise, I guess we'll toss in the mold too, because like paint job, I'm gonna say it's pretty much about the same. Like the only major difference is the way the domes are.
I like the NECA one better.
I like that you can see what's going on inside of the dome a little better, and then the black's more predominant around the sides. Well, this one's just like translucent pretty much all the way around, but the front is very darkened, which is sort of accurate to the movie too. But then again, like looking at this thing from the front is also seems to me to be pretty accurate. Then with it being a larger figure too, you can see like the teeth detailing is much nicer on the NECA. Paint job, God, stupid. We're just keep mouth closed. Stop it.
They just want to kiss, Steve.
I don't know. They just want to make out with each other. It's have smexy time. But a lot of the stuff, like with the NECA, it's mostly the same, but because it is a larger figure, you get more detailing out of it.
Yeah.
So it's impressive for the scaling, how much detailing is really with the blessed Monsterarts. The only thing that seems different to me is like the front of the chest looks different between the NECA and the Monsterarts. Because you'll see here the way the front of the rib cage is. It's got like separate sections on the NECA, while it's pretty much one solid unit on the Monsterarts.
I kind of like the separate sections though.
Yeah, it's... I don't know which one's actually more accurate, but to me, I kind of like the idea of this better because it being separated, it's a little weird, but I kind of get it. But as you can see, like same with the stomach, you get a little bit more detailing out of the NECA as well. So it's... I guess like in the end, you kind of have to give it to the NECA being a little bit more in the detailing department. Just because it being a larger figure, stuff just stands out better. And same with the paint job, it's pretty much the same.
And that's usually where Monsterarts should shine, is the detailing and the paint job.
Yeah, even like with some of the newer releases, like these guys aren't even new. Like say what like what we did with the NECA and the Godzilla 1962s, where the NECA or the Monsterarts had way better detailing. NECA, like, well, not like accurate, still looked a little better because it just had more paint with it, but that's mainly because of just the suit that they picked wasn't really that detailed to begin with. Well, with these, you get like a crap ton of detailing and paint jobs, so this is where like usually Monsterarts shines. But with the alien stuff, doesn't seem like it holds up as much. And then I guess finally, accessories?
Yeah.
This is where the Monsterarts easily wins. Like, it comes with this little egg. You get a stand to hold the alien. You get some extra hands, so you get different posability. Granted, you kind of get that with the hinge here. But this guy doesn't come with an egg and a stand.
Okay, so, like, extra hands. That should not be considered accessory because the NECA one already has the posable fingers, which works.
True.
Stand. The SH Monsterarts kind of needs the stand. Without it, it's almost impossible to put it up there. So
yeah, it's like, as you guys can see, oh yeah, he's got toe articulation. Well, he does too. So yeah.
So it's like it kind of needs the stand, but where the Monsterart wins, it came with an egg. I could always use more alien eggs.
That is true because like if you get the NECA eggs,
see,
as he tipped over, they're definitely much larger. And to be honest, I kind of like the detailing on them better. But again, larger item. It's generally going to look better. Like, this still looks pretty sweet. Probably the next best eggs to the NECAs, because, like, the McFarlane ones don't even look this good. I don't know why it has hair on it that won't go away.
So, like, the question is one alien egg worth $25?
Because that's where I'm sort of left at, right?
Yeah.
There, I can maybe get him leaning here. Because for an extra $25, all you're really getting, is the egg and the stand. And you're essentially paying for it being an import. That's really what you're paying for. Yeah. You're paying for it because it's a Monsterarts figure. And this is one of the only times where I'm going to say, like, the NECA's the clear winner.
Oh, yeah, by a mile. The only thing like where the warrior alien has over the other monster arts, he is better than the big chap monster art for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely a lot cooler. Like the big chap, like came with crap.
Yeah.
So,
yet again, that's like where the egg comes in a plate.
Yeah, and it's just like that one's clearly the NECA is superior.
Yeah.
Well, this one's like pick your poison for the most part, because it's like if you're okay paying the extra $25, like get the monster arts. Like it's cool, it's an import. If you're already collecting monster arts, it's a nice alternative. But if you just want like one good AVP warrior, like NECA's easily the way to go.
For sure.
Yeah, especially with this guy being a slightly older release, he's still actually pretty reasonable for a NECA. Like heck, even the Grid Alien's not too much more, and that one I prefer a little more.
Yeah, he went down in price, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's like if you're buying the 2-pack, that's where you're going to be paying some money. But individually, he's only like 35-ish.
Yeah.
30, 35 at most. So definitely if you guys are going to pick up between one or the other, go with the NECA. But what do you guys think? Which one do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer the guy on the ground? Let us know in the comment section below. And help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, or come ranger today. See you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.